Now, we have here our brother Aaron. Cheers, by the way. Cheers, cheers. This is Scotch. We're not going to tell you who Scotch it is because they're not paying us yet. And
if they want to pay us, though, we have reasonable rates and we're eminently corruptible.
So, Aaron here. This is Aaron, brother Aaron, the beard, however you wish to call him, Aaron, Daddy, whatever. But the point here is, Aaron here's for his interview, and he is the last one to go through this. So we're going to get started from the very tippy top. Aaron, would you like to tell us a little bit about yourself and what's your background?
My name's Aaron. Background's not really too impressive. I got into survivalism when I realized that there was kind of a collective name for all of my hobbies. I'm probably one of the last tail end of the generations that grew up that didn't have really a lot of video game consoles in the house or, a lot of internet because my dad wouldn't spring for it. So we had to play outside, and as a result of that, we lit a lot of things on fire and played with a lot of sharp, pointy objects. So coming off of that, I got into self-reliance, bushcraft, and a bunch of other related hobbies. I started in martial arts when I was about 6 years old, and I've kind of intermittently studied a grab bag of different martial arts, everything from Okinawan karate to some of the martial arts of Southeast Asia and Indonesia. Picked up a little bit of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu just because you can't have a roommate who rolls and not also roll. That determines who gets the last beer, I think, some of the time. So.
Nothing says I won the argument like a teabag.
Yeah. There goes the professionalism right out the window. So, next question.
All right, now you touched on it a little bit earlier, but I'm going to go ahead and ask it to you so you can go a little bit more in depth on it. What do you have for, what really got you into self-reliance?
When I was growing up, I had a little bit of a different growing up than a lot of other people in the first world. I was a missionary when I was in my teen years. My dad was
better.
I did get better, but I was a terminally missionary child, and I was the son of a terminally bad financial planner, and that ended up with us being evicted from a few houses, not having food in the cupboard a lot of times. So growing up and being in a self-reliant household, if you didn't have 30 pounds of meat in the freezer, you had nothing in the freezer because you never knew when that next check was coming in or when the next bonus was coming in. So that's really informed a lot of how I do what I do, and getting into the family purchasing schedules, with guys like Nelson and Patrick, Roy, really shopping as a family, doing household budgets, things of that nature to keep everybody fed. That's really a basic thing that I think a lot of people take for granted, and I never had the luxury of taking that for granted. From making a couple of bad decisions when I was in my teens, I lived with my dad in a warehouse for about 18 months. Got to shower out of a Rubbermaid tub and eat Hormel heater meals. Don't want to bash a potential sponsor, but I'll never put another one of those things in my mouth as long as I live. But I've really made some real commitments to self-reliance now that I'm an adult and I have control of my own bills and my own pantry. So,
all right.
It's a necessity.
Well, I mean, I can definitely understand. Is this probably why you would slap me whenever I glanced over at the Hormel packages? This makes a lot more sense.
Slap you because we're in the store and I can't stab you, yes.
Yes. Okay. Slap, it's just rude. We don't even have a stitching kit.
That's
what
true.
skill set would you say that you have now? What do you bring to the table to this tribe?
I've been doing martial arts intermittently since I was about 6 years old. I'm not the best guy at it. Ask any one of my teachers. I'm sure they have an earful for you. Setting up family and household budgets, kind of bringing tribes together. When we started No Easy Path, I had an individual friendship and kinship with everybody that we started with. And one of the coolest parts about that was that when we started introducing people to each other, they actually got along, which was a bit of a new experience for me because I was more used to drama and stupidity, introducing my friends to each other. So, coming off of that, really building tribe and community and doing the intentional building of that, and a little bit of the organizational side, I think, ramrodding and asking who has articles ready.
I'm the only person you bother for that. I'm pretty sure because I'm the only one that's actually dropped any articles.
Yeah, well, you're slacking, so.
So what skills do you hope to develop or gain in the next, we're going to say 6 months to a year?
Well, you know, as I go on, we do a lot of the tactical training, do a lot of the shooting, knife work, things like that. I've kind of been radically exposed to the idea that I have a hole in my groundwork. So Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu would be something that I would really like to get a hold of.
You can take your time on that. I'm not really in a rush.
But, you know, I've recently picked up boxing. We're looking at picking up some of our own butchering, taking things from hoof to table. Not just in a, you know, play school measure of, oh, look, I hacked this up and you can eat it. It's more of the, I want to butcher myself because I want to be able to bring better than restaurant quality to our table. So that, you know, that's pretty much it in the next 6 months to a year. Other than that, I'm pretty interested in just about anything I can learn, whether it's cooking or another craft skill. So,
And without boring into the souls of the poor users that have to stare into this camera, what did you choose, or why did you choose to be a part of the tribe?
well, you know, we talked a little bit about that in the intro video, and when I looked around, I had an individual relationship with everybody who's in No Easy Path, and looking around, I realized that I had people who were more than drinking buddies to me. I had people that were more than training buddies to me. I had people that were people that I could count on, people that I wanted to walk the rest of my life with. And once that decision was made, you know, it was a short jump to get into intentional community, to make a conscious decision to build deeper relationships with people that I cared about. There's not a lot of that in modern Western culture. You know, most Western males have very shallow relationships. You know, like we said in earlier videos, if I have a beer with you and I'm not a complete and total shitbag, you're going to be calling me brother or best friend by the end of the evening. And if I do it 3 or 4 months in a row, you're going to think that, you know, we're blood. That's really not how this started. You know, this started over a gradual process, and I took stock of myself and my relationships one day and realized that I really wanted to spend the rest of my life with my brothers and building not only a better life for myself, but those progeny that follow and, you know, the successive generations that we have. So, you know, we started with 4 people, and we'll see where it goes from there.
We'll see who we had. Well, as always, it's been No Easy Path, and we have gotten a chance here to hear a little bit more about our brother Aaron. And we hope to have a little bit more videos. We're hoping the next one to be a nice review. That way you guys can get an idea of how we do things, and you can really start sending us back comments and feedback on what it is you'd like to see more of, anything you'd like us in particular to review, or just anything you'd like us to cover. And thank you again, Aaron. See you guys next video.